Hi crafty friends, it's Tracy Hines, aka Nanner Banana. And in today's video, we are doing our Train to the West, a Victorian Junk Journal series launch. Step aboard the Train to the West. This Victorian Junk Journal series is filled with vintage train ephemera, romantic storybook vibes, and old world treasures. Perfect for your creative journaling journey. Join me as I share printables, fussy cuts, and ideas to bring the golden age of steam travel to life in your journals. I'm going to start by sharing my new digital that coordinates with this month's, or maybe month plus. This may be the first month where I'm not going to rush this month. I want these journals to be really special. So if it does go over a little bit, I'm going to play that by ear, but I'm going to try and keep it to a month like I always do, and we'll see how that works. But there is going to be a lot going on. I'm making 2 types of journals, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to show you some of the pages from my digital kit. I did not get them all printed off. This is a huge digital. It's on my Ko-Fi page, Tracy Hines, aka Nanner Banana. I'm going to have the link to my Ko-Fi in the description box. So after watching the video, you can just click on that and it'll take you right to it. I also have a post on my YouTube channel under post that talks about the digital and has a link there as well. And even if you're not making these journals with me, a lot of these images could be used for other journals, so feel free to go over and just print off the pages you want to print off. All my digitals are free. I make them with ChatGPT, and you'll see as I flip through these, each page is not necessarily perfect. That's why I'm never going to charge for them, unless maybe someday if I decided to buy some software that let me do this and have more consistency with accuracy. But whenever you use an AI generated service, there are discrepancies sometimes. So I was really happy with how this page turned out. This is Victorian error, I can't even speak, like paper dolls or people in travel wear. And we've got a page with some trains that coordinate with the fabric that'll be used in the kits. I don't want to get off topic just yet. I'm just going to stick with the digitals, but I will show you the fabric that will go with this, so you'll see how perfectly the digital matches up with that fabric, and it'll really carry the theme through the journal. Okay. And this is going to be like a fussy cut page. I thought the clocks were really neat, and the luggage, the light there. Did not mean to print off 2 of those, but I did, and I will be using these printables on the things I make this month, so I'll just keep it in there as an extra page. Some journal cards or focal points. I was real happy with how these cabinet cards turned out. So this could be like a journal cover. It could just be an embellishment within the journal. Looks like I printed off 2 of those as well. Okay. We've got some tags here. And this is an example of where using ChatGPT, no matter how many times I tried to get that to be on one page, it just wouldn't do it. So there's 2 usable tags. There's 4 usable focal points. So those could be cut or torn to be focal points. That's what sometimes you run into when you use ChatGPT. And then these are supposed to be little mini tags, but again, I will probably be using them as focal points. Wow, I printed a lot of these off. I did not realize. Okay, here's the other cabinet cards, and I was thinking these would make really nice covers for the journal. There's lots of options for doing like a journal topper within the kit. Then this is just some ephemera that I created for the kit. More cabinet cards. So here's an example of where the lady page turned out perfect. The gentleman's page says cabinet cards, but obviously the pictures can be cut out and used on tags, journal cards, focal points, however you decide to use them. Here is a letter that'll be in the journal, and I printed this on, I'm not sure what type of paper, if this is parchment paper or what this is, but it's a really neat paper. And I'll be cutting around it to where you just see the actual letter here on that. I thought that came out really nice. And then here is a waybill. Some more ephemera. Some telegraphs. And then here are some labels. This is what I was talking about, where even if you're not making a train journal, these labels could be used for any type of journal, but they're really cute. More fussy cutting sheets. These could be used for tags or ephemera, maybe even a focal point. These could be used for focal points or like journal toppers, or if you wanted to go with more of a conductor theme for your journals. So that is the digital. I'm sure just like every month I start making stuff and realize there's more that I need. So there's a good possibility that more digital pages to come, add-ons. So here is the fabric that will be used for the soft cover journals that the kits will be made from. And the material's beautiful. I'm going to make sure that I cut it to where if you want to have a train as your focal point of your journal and not have a journal topper, that's an option. So that's like when I cut out the piece to be used to make the soft cover. But you can see that one page, how it just coordinates perfectly, if I can find it here without too much trouble. You can just tell how the images just coordinate perfectly with this. I thought overall the digital came out pretty good. I was a little disappointed. A few things got cut off and I couldn't get them fixed, but I think there's still lots of usable items within the digital, and it's a big one. This is the biggest digital I've put together. So let me fold this up. And we will start going through some of the items that will be used to make these journals and put together the kits. All right, so I've already shown these in a haul video, but I thought I'd bring them out to show. So these are going to be my curved spine journals. I will also be harvesting images from these pages to use for embellishments, ephemera, and signature pages as well. All right, and then there's the Western ones. I'm definitely going to keep this focused more to the train, so I know I'm going to make this one. I may save these for another time if I have time, and I decide this might go over more than just the 30 days, then I'll go ahead and do these as well. Because I do have plenty of Western theme items that I could use for these. All right, I think we'll go through all the books first. I've got this little, there's images in here. So this has got images of trains that'll be perfect for focal points, or like these are the perfect size to make journaling cards and just back them, and the colors go well with the material, so that'll get used for sure. Since this does have a Western theme, I thought this would be good to use for signatures. It's some horse images. So I don't know for sure that I'll use them within the train ones specifically, but the Western one journals, I'll definitely pull some of this for those signatures. I've been very lucky that people have sent me things from their stash to use in this series. This is from Carla. She sent me this really cute book, and there's some really nice images in here that really go well with the Train to the West theme and the time period. She also sent me this one, which has got a lot of really neat train images that I'll be able to use, as well as I could use these pages for signatures. Got this all aboard the Golden Age of American Railway. So this fits exactly to the theme. I say that, but it looks like it's more 1940s to me. We'll see. Obviously, I'm going to keep it to the era that we're working in. So if there's anything in here I can use, we'll use it. If not, we will not. Like something like that could definitely be used as a signature page. It's beautiful. Some really pretty things there. This is a model railway train book, but it's got these really cool schematics that I thought would make some neat tags. Like, see that right there? That would be a really good signature page too. I'm going kind of fast. I've got lots to get through. I'll show you guys. Okay, so this one is has a lot of the era that we're in, and images from out west, that sort of thing. So this will be neat. And it's got some traveling pages, trains. So I'm definitely going to include this as for making embellishments as well as signature pages. And I love how they're completely matte. This is a much older book. Let me see what year it's from. The name of it's The American West, a pictorial epic of a continent. Okay. Okay, it's got the Roman numerals that I'm not sure how to read, so I can't say for sure what year this is from, but I can tell by the way the pages are. It's got to be older. I need to educate myself on that system of numbering. Okay, and this is music book that I thought would look nice in the books because it's really patinaed. Would look nice. Here's another, this is a painting lesson, but I thought these images, since they're going out west, would look good for signature pages and just add a variety to the signatures. So this book's from the early 1920s. I'm going to use it just to add some like different sized pages that are in the signatures. I think this will look nice in the journal. It's called The Making of an Executive. So, you know, train companies had executives. I think it still goes with the theme, but it's a really neat book. Also, I have this hymnal. Thought that kind of went with the theme a little bit, to use as some signature pages. I'm going to be using sheets and pages from this World Atlas, and there's a whole section on the United States, so I'll pull from that part of the atlas, and for the signatures as well. Yeah, here's where it's the United States, so I will use these pages in the signature. All right, let's see, what do I want to do next? So I'm going to be using some rag paper in the kits as well as in the journals. I just think that adds a really nice touch from the 1800s. And I wanted to show you guys, sorry for reaching across there, I got these glass buttons from the 1800s that I will be using if I use buttons, which I'm sure I will because they go with the color theme. They'll be getting used for embellishments, for when I sew in the signatures. I like to put a button on the signature thread in the center, so I'm going to use those for that. And I'll show you some of I've got some lace. I've got a lot more lace in my stash, but this is just what I have pulled right now. I've got this coffee dyed lace that I think will look nice with the journals. I have a order coming from Sandra at Blossom and Inspire. It's some Edwardian lace, so that'll be perfect. Some vintage, more vintage buttons from the 1800s. I have some train cards that'll be cute to use for embellishments. I had this in my stash, but I did buy some travel die cuts that I thought will work well from Hobby Lobby. And then I've got some train stamps. I showed one the other day. I didn't put it over here, but I've got it close by. But and then this is more of a Western themed stamp set. Got some just the neutral ribbon that I can use for closures or embellishments. And then I have some antique German scrap that I'm going to use to make some embellishments, and these are from the 1800s. So some of these will go in your kits. You can see with the quantities I have, that's going to limit the number of kits I can do because I want to make sure everybody gets some, as well as what I need to make for my own journals. And then these are some botanicals with birds on them, but I thought that would be fun since we're going to be using some authentic items from the 1800s in these journals from the Victorian era. Here here are some items that will get used for signatures, embellishments, stuff like that. I got some Western postcards. I haven't decided 100% that I'm going to use them because, yes, they're vintage, but they're obviously not from the 1800s, and they're not exactly that Victorian era, but they are cowboy themed. So the journals that are a bit more on the cowboy themed side, I might use those. I have these vintage gift certificates that I can embellish, and I thought they would look cute for some ephemera. And I received some items in Happy Mail. This is a reproduction Sears and Roebuck that has clothes, Victorian ladies, that sort of thing that I'll be able to use. I might use these pages for fussy cuts. And then Maddie sent me some as well, so I will definitely have enough to share in my kits with everyone. So you can see this has got like all kinds of items that you might have seen in the West, that sort of thing. So I'm excited to like watches, use these in making these journals. There. And I've got some coffee dyed paper that I got from Sandra at Blossom and Inspire that I'll be using in the journals. I have some of my own, but sometimes it's easier just to, instead of having to get in my stash, it's easier to just get some new. I don't know that I'll use these. These were some pages I bought from one of Maddie's sale, but I don't know that they really go with this theme, but I have them pulled. I used them in my last series, and so we'll see. I might use them, I may not, I don't know. But I have a lot of ledger paper here that will definitely get used in the signatures to make ephemera. So to share all the ledger, and then this ledger here is vintage. Maybe even, I think this might actually be antique ledger. And I may use this for doing some embellishments, that sort of thing. Let's see. Look at that, isn't that neat? And then I have these little cards that I got from a sale that Sandra had at Blossom and Inspire that I thought would look nice in these journals as ephemera. So I'll be able to include one of these in each of your kits as well as in the journals. There is some water marking on these, but they're still nice. I think they'll look good and nice and grungy for the journals. So I'm excited for those. And I'm using, for my scrapbook paper that I'm going to use for this series, I'm using my Tim Holtz Out of the Vault scrapbook paper. Not very good at flipping through this. I've used some of it, so that's why it's a little bit of a mess. But I've got a couple other pads that I'll pull, but that's going to be the scrapbook paper that I use in these journals. There's a travel theme pad that I have that I'll be using. And then here's my box of really special 1800s items. I don't know how many of these I'll use, but I'm sure I might pull some. These are buttons from the 1800s. Let's see what all I have in here. Okay, so here's an example of something I'll definitely be using in the journals. It's this hat band, hat ribbon. I think that would look really neat in these journals to use on something. I'm going to go ahead and pull that. These are pharmacy labels. I don't know if I'll use those or not. I have a bunch of rusty bits. That's one of the things I definitely want to pull. And some antique stamps. I'm going to pull that out because I know I'll use those. Let's see what else I have here. I have some postcards, some real cabinet cards, not ones that are digitals. I have some letters. Okay. I think these might be fun to use in the journals. They're like dials, paper dials. And I do have some authentic, I've got some train receipts in here too. That was the main reason I pulled this out, because I wanted to see about those. Here we go. Get that out. Sorry guys, I know a lot of people don't like that sound. Okay. I've got some train papers here that'll get used. Now these will not be in your kits. I don't have enough of these to share, but in the journals I make, they will have some authentic ephemera. And this is more train certificates. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull those to use in the journals. And there's one other book I wish I would have remembered to pull. I'm glad I'm looking through this because it reminds me that I have some items that I've not pulled yet that I'll be using. But this is all I've pulled to show you right now. And yeah, so hopefully you guys saw a lot of fun, neat stuff and are looking as forward to this next series as I am. Leave comments. Let me know what you think of the items I shared. And don't forget to keep it cute, keep it crafty, and keep making something out of nothing. Bye!